All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect. This teaches word in our true faith and sincerity. And today I just want to title this lesson, The Storm of Plagues. And this is what we're seeing throughout the planet Earth. Evils on top of evils. This is what you get in the news. You know, that's something you hear is things concerning bad news, whether war or uprisings, sedition among men, murders, shortages, which this article entails, man. One of the many plagues that Yahweh Shemel Shai sent upon planet Earth. That famine. So this is from eatthis.com, which ultimately you people are going to eat it. Matter of fact, let's start off with this in the book of Proverbs, the first chapter. Proverbs 1. And you know what? I started at 27. It says, when your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, and one of those key words is when, shows you that it's inevitable, man. The things that the Lord's about to bring upon the planet Earth. And it says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. And that's concerning 2/3 of our people, looking for salvation when these things take place. But the Lord have reached forth his hand by the way of his prophets, to show his compassion. But what they did, they mocked the messengers. Then now the wrath of the Lord is going to come upon them. It's for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. See, and that shows you that's the bridge to our salvation. This truth. It said they were none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. See? So you're gonna pretty much have to eat it. You pretty much was on the path of destruction. So that's gonna be the results, man. That's gonna be the results. That's why you read Jeremiah the 15th chapter. It talks about how the Lord appointed those different forms of deaths. Some people have taken on the path to the famine. Some people have taken the path to what they was appointed. So like they was appointed that path to the famine. They was appointed that path to the concentration camps, to the dogs, to terror. So to the article, it reads, food shortages may get even worse in 2023. Here's why. See? So now we seeing this build up to this great famine. Scripture says, behold, we actually seeing the maturation of this prophecy. This prophecy coming to its perfection. See, we're seeing why it's going to be cannibalism that's going to take place upon the planet Earth because of the wickedness. But we seeing these little events that's taking place, all these pieces being put together to actually bring forth that plague. It says, here's why. Inflation. See, this is what's going to contribute to those food shortages. Environmental catastrophes, which we just had this winter storm, and there's plenty of other, they call it Mother Nature, but it's really how by Shemel Shai visiting the earth. Tell the Lord he visited the earth by the thunders and the lightnings and the whirlwinds. It says, and fertilizer scarcity continue to wreak havoc on our food system, see? And this is what's going to contribute to the anguish and the distress, the perplexity. That food shortage, man. It says if you were hoping the year would mark a renewed era of abundance for the U.S. food systems, we have some bad news, see? Concerning Babylon, that's the only report you're going to get. Evils. The various food shortages that defined the past 12 months, butter, baby formula, eggs, are not only expected to continue, but experts are also predicting that they could even get even worse in 2023. See? So they are already expecting that these certain shortages are to continue, but it's only going to even get worse. It's going to be long gone the days where you can only buy a certain amount of items. It's going to get to the point it's not going to be any. You know, you're going to get 2 sticks of butter. Well, eventually it's not going to be no more butter, no more baby formula, eggs. Even the pet food. There's a shortage on cat food and dog food and shit like that. You know? It says CBNC reports an economic recession is likely to hit the early months of the new year as inflation, environmental catastrophes, and an ongoing fertilizer shortage to continue to wreak havoc. See, so we seeing the build up. Scriptures don't say behold for nothing. We actually witnessing this prophecy coming into its perfection. You know, and this is not the only thing the Lord is going to, you know, bring upon the planet Earth. There's other things that's taking place on the earth. Like I mentioned, the war. You're hearing about these power outages. There's going to be an overwhelming flood of plagues that's happening on the planet Earth. They already here. It's just only going to increase. This is the book of 2 Ezra 15 and verse 5. It reads, Behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashmal Shai, I will bring plagues upon the world. See? And we seeing it by the way of these articles, these videos, news clips, interviews. We seeing the Lord bringing plagues upon the earth. You know, when, you know, hearing about people being froze to death. You know, this is the norm that's in this time period concerning, like I said, these different murders. You're hearing about people being decapitated. Another shooting, another stray bullet, so-called, hit a baby. You know, the like I said, the shortages, war. That's the norm in this time right now. It says the sword, see, famine, death, and destruction. See, this is what's taking place throughout the planet Earth. And it's going to reach its perfection here in Babylon the Great. But as you see, the Lord, he said he's going to bring these things upon the planet Earth. It says, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. See? So the grapes are pretty much has been ripe. You know, this devil have done all this wickedness upon the planet Earth. Now it's time to receive that judgment. And everyone that has, you know, taken sides with this man is going to feel it as well. Matter of fact, let me jump down to verse 14. It reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. See? So destruction to the world and those that dwell in it, that have hold fast to the so-called white man in this system. Because you ain't got to have American flag flying out your door. It's in your mind. Whether you have a 3, 5, 10-year plan, you vote. You know, that destruction is going to fall upon you. It's just for the sword, and their destruction draw nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. See, These are the plagues that the Lord is bringing upon the planet Earth. You know, uh, the Egyptian against the Egyptian. That's a plague. You know, that house being divided. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power." See, so they're not regarding these leaders now. Like I said, concerning these different uprisings. You know, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, these lockdowns. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. And that's a broad statement right there. How the city is gonna be troubled by the way of these different lockdowns, that famine, civil war, power outages, the beasts of the field, from not just your zoo animals or the forest creatures that you know, or you now you know about, how a bear, you know about a bear or a lion. You know, what about those newly created creatures? That's going to be contributing to the troubling of the city. It said the houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. See? For the perplexity that's coming, men's hearts going to fail them for fear. It says a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. See? So that famine is going to change a lot of people. You know, that food shortage, to where you boldly going into other people's houses, ransacking the kitchen. You know, that Karakma is going to be on the scene. It's going to be a series of plagues to consume this place, man, to the climax of that destruction. When you read Revelation, the 18th chapter, concerning those plagues, death, mourning, and famine, and ultimately fire, man. You know, but this is what's taking place on the earth. You know, those slew of plagues. What's that in the book of Isaiah 28? Isaiah 28 and I start at verse 18. It reads, "And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand." Yeah, so those that held fast to the ways of Esau, the so-called white man, and look for him for a refuge. That's what you're going to get, death and hell. You're going to be brought down to a lower state. You know, you tells you that you're going down to Egypt. You downgrading already by holding fast to this man. Then you get the Quran. You know, you stand in a line for rations. You know, and ultimately you were just gonna die, man, by the way of those missiles, or whatever the case may be. But that's what you're gonna get, hell and death, when you take sides with the so-called white man. It says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through. See? What's that overflowing scourge? The scourge of those plagues. You know? Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of 2nd Ezra 16. I go right back to it. I think that's 2nd Ezra 16 in verse. Yep, 2nd Ezra 16 verse 19. It reads, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment." See? So yeah, those scourges is by the way of the famine, and it's like the famine and the plagues, things that bring forth tribulation and anguish, distress, is like a scourge. You know, it says, "But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." So yeah, when these things take place, they're not going to be mindful. It was Yahweh Bashim Shai, not JC or Buddha or Allah. they're not gonna be mindful is how Bashim outside is doing these things. You know? But you can see concerning those scourges, it says famine and plague, tribulation and anguish. But as we read in Isaiah the 28th chapter, it says it's an overflowing. It's gonna be overwhelming, man. Of the scourge. That's why it's gonna have to take divine intervention. It says on going back, Isaiah 28:18, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by. See, you're going to be beat down by the way of the plagues. Overflowing scourge. So it's going to be an overwhelming, a storm of plagues. How they say it's raining cats and dogs. Well, that's how it's going to be with the plagues. From the famine to the economic crash. You know, the beasts of the field, Esau, you know, by the way of his troops, to even the Karagma, the mechanical dogs, you know, and a plethora of other things. Just a man just a hungry nigga that's gonna be a plague, because he gonna do anything in his power to put something in his stomach, you know. So yeah, Akim, I just hope you were edifying. I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Racha, Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, the teach word in our true faith and sincerity. DTA, Bible Ball. Soon. Very soon.